Paul Wu, telecoms analyst for Samsung Securities, joins us with his take. Paul, good morning. I read your report. I mean, you're saying that the deal is a bad one for China Mobile. Obviously, the company doesn't think so.
Right. We think that the deal represents about 16% of the company's cash. We think there are better uses for the cash than expanding beyond its core competency. And secondly, we think that the banks in China would be more than willing to cooperate with China Mobile, even without such a direct equity investment.
In what way can it better use its cash? What are the options?
Well, obviously, there would be areas such as internet, or perhaps investing in some developing market telecom companies outside of China. And there are other areas that, that telecom companies historically have invested in. For example, China Mobile has invested already in Pakistan telecom. It has been looking for some investments in Southeast Asia and Africa, but has not been able to conclude them.
So you're worried that China Mobile has moved out of its core business by buying a financial institution, but the right people can do the job. It's just a matter of hiring the talent, no?
Right. It's not our concern about their ability to expand beyond that. We think that China Mobile will be able to make e-commerce work and mobile banking work. We're just questioning the spending of, as you said, close to $6 billion for this investment. We think that the Chinese banks would be more than willing to cooperate with China Mobile, given that it has over 527 million customers for the business. Quite frankly, the banking business in China is quite competitive, and they're more than willing to get more customers through teaming up with China Mobile without such a large equity investment.
Could there be a spillover effect for the industry? I mean, what other possible fallout could this deal have for state-run enterprises?
Yes, another concern we have is that China Mobile plans to make this investment. In the announcement that they made last night, the majority shareholder of China Mobile is, of course, a parent company that owns 74% of the company. They said that they plan to vote in favor of this investment. So basically, the minority shareholders, the public shareholders, will have no say in the matter, that the parent company has decided to make this investment. Obviously, this has repercussions for other state-owned enterprises with large cash balances that have minority shareholders in overseas investors.
Let's just say China Mobile shares get pummeled over the news. Is there a chance it may change its mind about the deal?
Well, it could do so. I mean, obviously, it needs both the shareholder approval, it needs regulators' approval, as well as Shanghai Pudong Bank's approvals. So that perhaps they could backtrack if they feel, or the parent company could backtrack and say, well, we've decided not to go through with this if, in fact, the share price does fall significantly from current levels.
Okay, help us put everything in perspective. If you had to evaluate China Mobile's position after this deal against other telecom players in the region, what would your assessment be?
Well, China Mobile remains one of the largest telecom mobile company in the world. As I said, it has over 527 million customers. That position will not change. I think that, one thing that is going on in the China market is it's reaching saturation, and that going forward, there's a secular decline. The reason why they're doing this is to hopefully improve their earnings growth. I think that the chairman mentioned that perhaps you have a 2% EPS growth as a result of this transaction. So the overall positioning of China Mobile has not changed in the market at all. But perhaps, they hope to get a little bit more earnings growth from this. But overall, the general conditions have not changed. China Telecom still remains a very strong competitor, as does China Unicom. In fact, we prefer China Telecom and over China Mobile, as its earnings are growing much faster.
Okay, Paul Wu, Samsung Securities, pardon me. Thank you so much for joining us today.